Hi, welcome back to the College Fun Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bo.
I'm Haley.
I'm Josie.
I'm Zach.
And today we're going to be talking about Salem. So, Josie, what is your take on witches?
Well, the Salem witch trial is kind of crazy from all the things that they do because thinking people have become witches. And I know, the only stuff I know is from junior year, so.
Do you believe in witches?
Yeah, do you believe in witches?
Ooh.
I don't believe in witches, but I believe in spirits.
Okay, Zach, go. Do you believe in witches?
I think Britney. It's Britney. Britney is a witch because it's Britney.
Hey, you know what? She does bewitch a lot of men. So.
That in fact she does, and a lot of women.
Oh yeah, that's
Speaking from personal experience.
Oh.
Wait a second, huh? What do you know?
Since when?
I'm just kidding.
I'm
One
a
of these
joke.
things is not like the other.
So, before we get too deep in this topic, I'm going to tell you guys this. So there was a time in kindergarten, I'm going to show you how dumb I was at the age of 5.
You were 5. You weren't very smart.
She's still not very smart.
So,
That was
I'm
my
just kidding.
that was my line. Why
no,
did you
you ain't
take that?
talking.
No, you're pretty smart. You get
Ooh.
4.0s every semester, so.
Miss, I got to pee every 5 minutes trying to come at me right now.
I said that like one time last podcast.
Okay, so
Yeah, one time's all enough to imprint on someone's mind.
Shut up, Zach.
when I was in kindergarten, we had to do these like journals every day, or maybe it was first grade. Anyways,
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
we
I
did
was
these
gonna say, if you have
journals.
to do a journal in
It
kindergarten,
was probably first grade.
Let her speak.
But we had these journals we would do, and it would be like a topic. So it said on one day, it was like, what is your favorite sandwich? But it said, draw your favorite sandwich. And I read it as, draw your favorite sandwich. And I was like, what is a sandwich? So I drew, and my mom still has this journal. Like, I don't
need
know
to
where
see
it's
it.
at, but she has it. And it's a drawing of a witch made of sand in my journal because I didn't know what it was talking about. And then I realized, like, halfway through it, I was like, sandwich.
okay,
so
did
I
you
had
have to
to,
show
like,
it?
Well, I mean, my teacher read it. But so, like, I drew a thing, and I was like, okay, think quick because we're almost out of time. So I drew, like, a little house on the side of the sandwich, and it was me inside eating a sandwich. But I thought they were talking
This
about
is my thing. What teacher expects a kid to know how to draw a sandwich?
I don't know.
Like, how do you draw a different sandwich other than bread? And then, like, it's just gonna be this. If you're
Yeah.
5 years old, you're gonna draw a drawing like this and put lines in it and go,
Yeah.
this is my favorite
It had to be
sandwich.
first grade.
sandwich.
What-
Sand and bread.
It had to be first grade if I could
Sand and
read.
bread.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I was gonna say, that could not be kindergarten.
Right. So,
Even still.
still though, I know, I was like, because I realized halfway through, I was like, it said sandwich, not sandwich. What is a sandwich? I was like, a witch made of sand. Where did they have that at? I know my teacher was looking at that like, why did she draw a witch?
I wish you would have said
How'd
something.
she
we
draw
were
a witch with a whole bunch of polka dots on it? I don't understand.
Like, I drew a witch, and then I drew me in the house eating a sandwich.
So you had 2 different drawings.
It was like 2 drawings on the same page. But I
Right.
know she was like, what? Why is there a witch on this page?
You're
Like, what is
pale.
wrong with this child? But that was, I felt like, a fun introduction to the whole Salem witch trials because, you know, what is a witch? What is a sandwich? What is a
witch made
witch?
out of sand.
I completely agree with you. It's the teacher was 100% wrong. It was definitely a witch made of sand.
I'm thinking
Brennan.
more of Haley. You should be a better drawer and learn how to draw bread at the age of 5.
I drew it.
Are
Okay.
you 5 in?
I will find
First
that
grade?
journal and show it to you guys.
I turned 6 in kindergarten.
You're 5 in kindergarten.
I turned 6
You can
though.
turn 6, yeah.
You're young.
Depends where your birthday falls.
And it depends also what number you're at beforehand.
And what mental capacity you have.
Brennan, you don't have a mental capacity.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I'm Gucci.
You dropped out of college.
You know what? It's all right though, because I'm still gonna be making more money than you.
Oh, I will not make any money.
Exactly. So, and you're going to college, and you're just gonna rack up a whole bunch of debt.
I'm gonna make money.
Did everyone learn about Salem about their junior year? Is that where you really know?
I
about
learned it in
like
middle school.
I learned mine in like 10th grade. Nah.
I
It was
remember-
somewhere in high school.
I remember very specifically junior year because I was in a teacher's class and we watched The Crucible, and I think I fell asleep.
Yeah, the
You got to
Crucible.
watch a movie. I didn't get to do that.
You didn't watch The Crucible? Every class watches The
Watches
Well, you watched,
Crucible.
I don't know if you know the
Wait a
teacher-
second. Is the Crucible with
It's
that?
about Salem witch trials.
Really? Oh my goodness! That's wherever they have. That's wherever they show all the the little girls and they're going around and everything.
Yes, yes, yes. And like the
and-
woods, like around that little thingy.
Yeah.
Singing.
Yeah.
Naked or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. Then yeah, I did watch it.
Chanting.
Naked, the Crucible.
The Crucible?
Because I remember us watching the Crucible one day, and then the next day watching the Adam Sandler movie.
We also
they're
watched
one in the
Easy A to go along with
It's a
Scarlet
thing.
Letter.
All right. So, witches.
So the Salem witch trials happened in Salem, Massachusetts. That I think is a given. Most people know.
That was actually where the recording of it
and-
was at too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and your knowing about where it's recorded.
But I feel like it
a
seems like
fun
it lasted so much longer than it did, but it really lasted like only a year.
Really?
A few months at most.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
it's
it
Yeah,
from
that's
seems like
because
it's
they just-
so big in
that's 'cause-
history.
That's just because they went 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
That's true.
They went from.
They were like,
Didn't they
huh?
hang
These
people?
girls are going. Wait, what was the maid's name? Taboo or Taboo?
There was a one named Abby.
No,
No, Abby was
not the witch.
a
The
daughter who actually was in servitude by working for somebody else. But there was actually a servant who. was-
Tibidaboo.
But you have to kind of keep the facts between the Salem witch trials and the Crucible a little bit separate, because even though they kind of go hand in
Not the
hand, a
exact
lot
same.
of it's not completely accurate, or it was like dramatized.
Yeah, but they had.
Well, everything
anyways,
that's based on true events has to be dramatized because you don't know
Well,
what happened in private, only
like-
what's written down in the public records.
Like the girl Abigail and the guy did not actually have like
A
any.
sexual relation.
relationship.
Yeah.
He did not have
Have
sexual
sexual
relations
I
with
didn't
that
know that.
woman.
I did
He
not
did
know
not.
that. I want
'Cause
to
he
see that
was-
on Murray now.
Well, he was actually an old man, and she was like a 13-year-old
he
was a-
girl or something.
He was the preacher, right?
No,
Oh, of course not.
the preacher was a different guy. I'm trying to.
So,
preacher
okay,
was one
this
of
says
the
it happened
good.
in 1692.
Yeah, from
1692 to
1693.
1693, from March
Look at
to
y'all.
February.
Look at
I felt
that.
left out.
I'm trying to pull up the Crucible too, so we can kind of compare side by side and
Yeah,
like
so I
discuss
will have-
Touchscreen. It
different
is
things.
Okay, she can do
Anyways.
the Crucible. We're doing Salem witch trials.
on the History Channel.
No, I'm not subscribing.
What is your take on witches? What do you think? Did you think that they genuinely thought that these people were witches, or were they
Yes.
just like, we don't want our girls to like actually be little hoochie mamas? Because that's what they were doing. They were like trying to make boys fall in love with them, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna like do this little voodoo stuff
Well-
to make the boys fall in love with us."
Well, that was the servant who brought him into it, and then the servant was like trying, I guess, cover for it, and then it just turned into one big thing or something.
But it's like, do you think the people were actually concerned that like their daughters were doing witchcraft, or were they like, "Oh, we don't want the village to know that our daughters are some little like hoochie mamas trying to like
I mean, if you
mess
go,
with the boys"? Like, do you really think they thought they were witches?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, I think, their flying brooms and their pointy hats were kind of weird. But other than that,
I don't think that was.
They
a
didn't
thing.
have that.
Um,
yeah, that's more of a Harry Potter.
yeah.
Or Hocus
No.
Pocus.
no. But
Okay.
I think that they were just, psychopaths. Honestly, I think that they had that psychopathic, or well, the one girl, the girl who started it with the
Abby.
Abigail Williams.
what's the slave's name?
Tituba?
Tituba.
I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of you.
Tituba.
The fact that you actually remembered that, I didn't believe you.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like a Jamaican slave.
Yeah.
Jamaican, I thought it was.
Tituba. Anyways, that was like the girl Abby, I think it was.
Abigail Williams.
Yeah, Abigail Williams and Tituba, like them two were like I guess scheming together, and then whenever they got caught, then Abigail was like,
just threw Tituba
Yeah.
under the bus.
yeah, Abigail was like, I ain't going down for this, It was her. And then,
She got hanged.
then then her friends, her like little posse was all like, yo, that was messed up. I want in. And then, they all started just
But
acting
then
like
also
crazy.
them were also scared of Abby because of Tabitha got actually hanged.
See, this is all from the
Yeah.
Crucible, like the movie/book.
I was gonna say, didn't a lot of them
There's
get
some
hung?
true in it.
Yeah, but a
Well,
lot
yeah,
of it
for-
was dramatized in the movie. So in the movie, Abigail has her little affair with Mr. John Hale, that's his name. And he was married,
Mm-hmm.
but she was like
Wasn't she
babysitting
young?
his kids. Yeah, she
She
was
was
like
a paid
underage,
servant.
but she wasn't like,
She was like 13, right?
I don't know how old she was in the movie. In real life, I
In the
think
movie,
she
she
was
was
like 13 and
15.
he was like an old man. So they never actually like had any, there's like no evidence that they
Sugar
actually
daddy.
had any like communication
Mm-hmm.
in real life. But
But granted, that is also
he
like...
was hung though in real life because, well, he was hung in the movie too. But in real life, he like was this really grumpy man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like old man. He was like, I hate these girls. They get on my nerves. Like they all up in my like yard and stuff. Like he was like that old man,
Mm-hmm.
or his plantation. I don't know what they have back in
Even-
the days. So
I mean, back then,
he was like,
load up your
Yeah,
musket, get off my property.
he was like, whatever. And so they didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
All the girls that were accusing other people of being witches. So they were like, oh, we don't like him. We think he's a witch, and they hung him.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
This
It's
says-
basically just saying, I don't like this person. They're a witch. And then everybody else in town was like,
Yeah.
they're a witch!
Listen,
But the man that was hung, that actually did happen in the movie and in real life, and his name was
Wasn't like his wife. hung,
Giles
too?
Corey, and he was pressed to death for refusing to
This-
plead.
Yeah, I knew it was right.
Well,
Giles Corey.
the first
Give-
conviction was against Bridget Bishop, and she was hung on June. Nope, she was convicted on June 2nd, but was hung 8 days later. And then 5 more people were hung that July, 5 in August, and 8 more in September. Were all hung to death.
Don't people still practice witchcraft today?
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Well, you
People are
can
crazy.
still get books on witchcraft.
Well, there's also like them. If you know
I mean,
where
it's
those
in the
tribes
Bible.
are too, where they don't have really contact with the outside world.
But
You
see,
do some magic around them, they'll call you a witch and kill you too.
this is a subject I'm extremely fascinated about. I don't know why I love the Salem
Witches?
witch trials, but I do. Yeah.
'Cause
Or
you
the Salem
love
witch?
them.
Which
Both.
one? Which one? Witches
Honestly.
or Salem witch trials?
Both,
those are two
because have
completely
y'all
different
watched
things.
Coven? Like, that's dope.
No,
anyway.
I don't watch American Horror Story.
But like this was also the 1600s, so it was very like it was still a pretty religious time.
Well,
And I
not
mean,
only
even in the
that,
Bible, it talks about witchcraft and don't practice witchcraft. So whenever all this weird stuff started happening, and these girls were like, "Oh, we're gonna put spells on stuff," they were like,
oh no,
"This is super against like everything that we're teaching because they're super religious. Like this whole town is like 1600s religious. Like
Yeah.
it was serious." So they were just like, no, 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 no. So when they thought, oh, somebody's practicing witchcraft, that stuff was like serious.
My thing is that I kind of feel like they were Puritans, and they were a really religious town. Is that why you think that they thought that the girls were not lying? Because
Well, the guy.
because they were like, well, they're too young and innocent, they can't lie.
well, in the movie,
Well,
they also.
But a witch
like,
can lie.
They're
But the-
good at acting in the movie too. So.
Well, the
Well, that's because they're actors.
Well, the preacher, it was like his niece or something, or
Yeah.
maybe his daughter too, was the one that caught them doing this. So he was like doing like this exorcist type stuff,
Yeah.
trying to make sure they were fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when it was them, it didn't matter that like, oh, that it was like these demons possessing them and stuff. Or it was like, oh, there's witches. Like, oh, it's not my kids aren't witches, my niece, and like they're not witches, but somebody's a witch that's trying to like affect them. Like there's
Like,
witches
yeah.
putting spells
Tabitha.
on them.
Yeah.
And that's
So
why
then it
she got
became
hanged.
like a manhunt of like, it couldn't be my kids acting this way. So one of y'all's kids is like freaking doing some voodoo stuff on my
Whoa.
kids right now. So I
She can't
think
see out of
that
that.
was a time period.
that's true. I didn't even see you at all.
There wasn't a
Good.
lot of other logic for stuff. I mean, we see how it was back in those days. People were very quick for assumptions. I mean, even way before then, after then. Like, it was normal for people to just like jump into random crap. I mean, that's why we had so many wars back then, because it was just like, you did it, we fighting. That was how it was.
It's like Hamilton.
Now we have the internet.
1, 2, 3.
And
We
it's
just fight
also,
on there.
I feel like whenever anybody mentions,
I think that's copyrighted.
anyways, but I feel like whenever people say witches, they immediately think of the Salem witch trials and then all the different kinds of movies that have come off of witches. Like, if you look back at it, there's a lot of different movies. Like, not even like kids movies, but like actual movies. Like, you have The Witch, you have The Crucible, you have Pilgrim,
The Monster House.
or
Coven.
you have Coven.
The Monster's House.
How's that a witch?
Because the house is haunted.
That's ghosts.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Wizard of Oz was just a remake of World War One because you had the East Wicked the Witch.
Okay, so...
Why'd you sound like you were turning tables? Wicked
Oh.
to Wicked to Witch.
I was wrong about their age.
That's what
So,
I thought
in
too.
real life, it was Betty Paris, which was,
That
I
was
believe,
funny.
the daughter of the preacher.
Mm-hmm.
She was 9.
And the
And
niece.
then her cousin was Abigail
Boy, come
Williams, who was
together.
11. So
Hold
she was
on.
11 in real life.
Wait a minute. This says Abigail Williams, the daughter and niece, respectively, of the Reverend Samuel Paris.
How is she the daughter and the niece?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Well,
understand. It was a different time.
Well,
Well,
There's a lot
It
of
was a
incest.
my
different
brother is also my uncle.
I
Or
don't have a brother.
That was a joke.
so she could have been like, I don't know if this is true. I think I would have to research this, but her parents could have died, and then he like took her
Oh,
in.
no, he adopted her.
And like been like,
Probably.
oh, she was actually originally my niece, but then like my brother
She's my
or whoever
daughter.
died, now she's my daughter. I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
don't
can
know how
understand
it
that
works.
because her
It just
last
doesn't make
name's
sense
not Paris. It's Williams.
Yeah, so something weird happened
Yeah.
there.
Salem witch trial.
I was trying to pull up information about her because she was the little devil that like started all this crap. Like
They made
was...
a whole video game around her.
That's
do
kind of
believe.
weird.
Yeah, no.
He was her
It was a
relative.
little while ago, but it was where this dude just got trapped in like a realm or something like that, or he was running around and he was seeing ghosts in the video game, and the little girl was dressed up like Sunday Adams or Wednesday Adams.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday Adams.
Sunday Adams.
Yeah, he.
Adams family. Son, yeah, they there's the people who are opposite from everyone else. Yeah, it's Sunday.
Wednesday Adams.
There's really not a lot of information about her in real life, about Abigail Williams.
That's because it happened in.
But she
1862.
was one of the little heifers, 1692.
Oh, see, even worse. It's been way longer than.
Yeah, so she
What
was
did
one of
they
the little
say,
heifers that was like
1962?
starting this crap though.
I think that was Vietnam.
So what happened was in real life, Abigail and Betty were like having these epileptic fits. I don't know if I said that right, but that's a big word.
Epileptic.
Yes. And
they
then
also had seizures.
That's
all
like-
this stuff.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what epileptic fits are.
I
They're
know.
seizures. Then why did you say it? If you know.
I didn't know.
Apparently the girls would scream and they like would throw things around
Didn't
the
they
room.
like say some kind of bird too?
Crawled under the furniture and
A
like
crow?
did this contortion
They saw
crap.
in the movie. They saw a bird.
That's from the movie. I'm talking about real life.
It's dramatized.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So
Haley.
all this stuff is happening from real life, which it does kind of intermix. Because I don't know, maybe just in the Crucible they were trying to get with the boys. Because in real life they were just acting crazy.
Like,
Yeah, they were just going off into the woods,
They
getting
might have
naked
just like
and just going in
mentally.
circles.
That was in the movie, but mentally in real life, maybe they just had like mental disorders in
I
real
think
life.
they were
Because they were
sociopaths.
family members. It was Betty and Abigail. They were related. They could have had a line of like mental illness.
But there were
in their
more girls
family.
than just them
And it was
two.
a long time ago, so they didn't think about that.
Yeah, but then people could have copied them doing stuff like that.
Oh, they're
Other
the
know.
kids with
well.
mental
Well, they were
illnesses.
the pastor's kids.
Who
so
knows?
that
Maybe
means
they're
that
acting out.
because back then, if you were a pastor's kid, you were like the popular one.
You're a
like
pastor
the
kids
law
now,
of the
you're the
lion.
popular
But they would
one.
say that they were being pinched and pricked with pins, which makes me think there was mentally something like happening.
Yeah.
But who
They
knows? I
had
mean,
scoliosis.
it was a long time ago. Who knows?
So you get, the little spine tapping with the big needle.
No.
And so
It's
they
a lumbar
said
puncture.
they were saying that people the preacher was saying, oh, somebody's like afflicting them right now, like causing them to do this, like it's
Yeah.
not them, somebody's like, there's witches among us
Yeah.
doing this crap. And so there was 3 people that were first accused, which was a 12-year-old named Anne and a 12-year-old named Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Abigail and
No.
the other girl didn't like her.
They were afflicting Betty, Abigail, Anne, and Elizabeth, and the 3 people accused of afflicting those 4 people were Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba.
I definitely just
See,
said
I
no.
just think they at the beginning they were like, I don't want any Sarahs.
But they did accuse Tituba first because she was one of the slaves, and you all know how it was back in that day.
She was
Black.
Yeah, that's
She
how
was
it was, which
also
it
a
messed
slave.
up as
He was so
that
afraid to
was.
say that.
Yeah, as messed up as it was, they were accusing her first because she was the slave.
Yeah.
And that's how they treated people
They
because
and
they were like,
Sarah Good was also of lower class, was she not?
probably.
Well, yeah.
And then the other woman was a homeless person.
And they just did people that they saw as below them, which is
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. But that's how people acted during this time.
But
I mean,
also
some
when
people
you're
still
the
act this way
preacher's
today.
nephew,
But it was really bad back then.
niece and daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You're also the one who has the most money too, because due to the fact you the most income is and the food and stuff is going to the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, Good was accused because of her reputation. And they said she rejected Puritan ideals
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it was a ton about religion but just about really who you were in this village.
Yeah.
Sarah Osborne rarely attended church meetings, so they were like, "Oh, you didn't go to church? You of the devil.
You witch.
You're a witch."
Okay, so Josie, how do you feel about witches apparently drawing their power from the devil?
I don't like the devil.
I know you don't like the devil. I'm saying, what do you think about it?
Oh, well, it's because I keep trying to get my knee to pop. I got it. So
She's
we're
gonna
good.
have to remove that. So.
Anyways, well, okay, then fine then. Instead of just Josie, what do all y'all
Yeah,
think?
that's good because I totally zoned out.
What do you think about all? Why don't y'all all think about how witches draw their power from the
I
devil?
feel like I need to look up an answer.
I don't know. I don't know a ton about actual witchcraft, considering I don't practice it.
I don't either. The only thing that I know is supernatural.
So is there a difference? Actually, I have a question. Is there a difference in like the Salem witch trials and the stuff that they did about witches and like actual witchcraft?
100% yes.
I'm sure.
I
I
really
think
didn't
They
know.
were
so
acting
I
and
don't
playing
think-
like they were witches. I mean, Tituba did some witchcraft and stuff like that. And then
Did
the
she
girls
really,
found-
or was
More
that
like
just in the
voodoo.
movie? In
No,
the
it
movie
was
she
crap.
did, but
That's
I
what
don't know if in
witchcraft
real
is,
life
is
that
it?
was a
Well,
thing.
that's like it's
It's
not
Southern
voodoo.
That was, I think, in the movie, but I don't know if that was true for real
I
life.
don't know.
Real life, but she was from South America. I
So
think
there
where it said
is
she was
real
from.
witchcraft that
Yeah.
actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if
Do
you
not
can
know
go
what a
buy
witch
books
doctor
on
is?
that.
I
Something-
told the witch doctor. Dang it! I'm sorry.
Sorry?
the witch doctor. A witch doctor is fake.
She was a South
Yeah.
American Indian woman from the West Indies. But yeah, so those people were arrested at the beginning and stuff like that. Anyways, I don't know what the question was because we keep going on.
I asked.
So
was
you
there,
talked about witchcraft and stuff.
I was asking if there was a difference from like all the Salem witch trials to actual witchcraft.
I
Well,
think-
most definitely, because again, like I said, they were just acting, and actual witchcraft, people literally believe that they can draw power from different places. I honestly kind of believe that the crystal community people is probably going to catch a little bit from that, but people who draw do the crystal stuff. I don't
That is
know.
the thing. That was
That
in,
is weird to me.
What's
That was in Coven, I think.
Wait, okay, so
with the
people are like,
crystals.
if I hold this blue crystal and it's a healing crystal,
Then
I
you're
won't
healed.
get sick or I'll get healed from my sickness.
So
That
they
is a
believe
thing.
that a
You know
crystal
what-
can either like do something.
Yeah,
That is
same
the
thing with
Like,
essential
that's the thing
oils.
today.
You know.
Oh,
you know
hey,
the-
essential oils really do work though.
There's
essential oils
also
do
a
really
thing
work.
too called a sugar pill
Ask
that
Bridget.
doctors give to people to make them think. So it's the same
I think
thing.
It's like a
There's-
placebo effect.
That's
I
what
think
it
there's a
is.
lot of things that have like strained from it because with this time period they're like doing this contortion stuff, they're being affected by witches.
They're
And
just
today
really
it's just
flexible.
like, okay, I want like these healing powers or like to do like this all-knowing stuff, so then they that's kind of how it is today. I don't think there's a lot of contortion and stuff.
I don't think there's a whole lot of like, evil intent with the people that do it today.
Yeah, but it is still a thing, and I think that there's not just one set of like, oh, this is what it is and this is how it works. I think there's a lot of different like ways that people do it.
Yeah.
But I don't. But like, I don't know a ton about it because I just never really have read about this stuff. I just have read about, I guess, witches in general, rather than like, oh, well, what kind of stuff can people do now? But I'm gonna tell you, you can go to those stores. Like we went to that store on our spring break trip that one time.
Oh yeah.
And there was books about it everywhere, about witchcraft and everything. So
all over the place.
Yeah, so you can still find books really easily, especially like in like little shops and stuff, with just where they're trying to attract a wide range of people.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay, I have a question.
It's like the mood rings. The mood rings are actually witchcraft. Think about it.
I used to have mood rings.
How does it read your mood? Witches.
No, from the temperature on your finger.
Witches.
Food for thought. Just saying. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's like your Fitbit
joking.
thing, bracelet
I'm just
thing.
kidding.
It has one of them heart beeping sensor things
Yeah.
on it.
Yes, my heart rate's at
I'm just kidding.
106.
All right, what's your question?
Okay, so kind of transitioning a little bit. Would you rather, like, are you more interested in learning about witchcraft or, like, learning about, like, ghosts and spirits and, like, paranormal stuff?
I'm not interested at all in witchcraft.
No, I'm not saying, like, interested in doing it, like, learning about it. Like,
I'm super fascinated by, like, witches and stuff.
I'm more a ghost,
I'm more
paranormal
ghosts.
thing.
I don't think I'm
I'm not
super
interested in
paranormal.
neither one of them.
Yeah, you're interested in war, we know.
No. Because ghosts stem from the dead.
Do you not believe in ghosts?
I don't know
Of
if I
course.
do believe in ghosts.
Of course, mate.
I'm
you know
super
you ever had that
fascinated.
little knocking at the end or the ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super fascinated with, like, haunted things. Like, I want to go to places that are like, oh, this is like
Okay,
one of the
that's like
haunted
paranormal stuff.
Paranormal and
I know,
ghosts.
wanna
but
go
I
to
don't
the
know if I
USS
believe it's true or
Alabama
not.
and sleep
I like
there
to
at
like
night.
go and I want to just see, cause like we saw that book that one time that was like the world's most like haunted places, and I was
Let's
like,
do
I
it.
want to go.
I want to go.
I love
There's a
Halloween
haunted-
and all things haunted.
You know
and
the
spooky.
boat that we went to that one time, the USS Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
That thing is haunted. So if you go there at night, they actually let people stay there at night. And there's a med bay that you can go in, and the far right corner in the room is apparently the most haunted. You can hear footsteps and walking in there because that ship was actually hit by a torpedo.
See, I'm
What-
super
Didn't
Didn't they
fascinated
do
with
that
stuff
on
like that.
Ghost Hunters?
I don't know if they went there.
Or was it the USS Missouri?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's Google.
I super
Ask
love.
Bob that question.
I'm not a big history buff, but stuff like that that's just kind of like the unexplained does fascinate me because I'm like, ooh, what do you like?
All
How
right.
is this a
All right, so
thing?
what's your take on unicorns
wait.
then?
Unicorns? I don't think
Wait,
unicorns are a thing.
I'm about to get us on to probably a long conversation.
I was like,
The Bell Witch.
I don't know anything about that.
It's a witch and it's paranormal.
No,
Perfect, it's right in the middle.
I used to always want to learn about the Bell Witch. I love
Blair Witch or Bell Witch?
The Blair Witch Project.
Bell Witch.
Is that the same thing?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
The one that
I've never seen it.
I
'Cause
couldn't understand.
Isn't the Blair Witch like really?
I don't know.
Remember when we went canoeing on the Red River?
Ooh,
Yeah.
We
I wanna
passed right by
go.
the Bell Witch, and you could feel the temperature change from like not being by it and then passing it, and it got really cold. I remember it specifically.
I love stuff like that. It super fascinates me because I don't know how much I believe in like spirits and ghosts and stuff.
I think I did believe in the Bell Witch.
But I just love the environment and stuff like that because you're like, oh, spooky.
Like,
and
y'all-
ooh.
Yeah, but as soon as you get there and all you hear is, you're gonna be, get me out of here right now. Get me out of here right now.
I don't think so. I don't like actual like haunted houses like where people
That's
jump
because
out and
it's not-
scare
that's
you because
dumb.
that's just I don't like being like
You don't
people
like
jumping
jump
at me.
scares.
I don't like jump scares.
But then what are you gonna do whenever you're in the middle of a haunted house and it's just you
Someone taps
and
you
somebody
down.
else in there, and then all you hear is
well, first of all, I don't like being tapped, so I quit doing that.
all you hear is
But
boom
why
and
would
a
I be by
door
myself?
slam right
We
beside
would
you.
go on an adventure together. Duh.
Brennan's like, no
Who does
thanks.
that by yourself?
Plenty of times. Have you ever seen Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventurers? They're like,
They
all
have
right,
to
so
go by
No,
their-
'cause
they
I
have
don't
to
know if I
separate.
think
yeah,
Ghost
you have
Hunters
to
is real.
separate because sometimes spirits are shy apparently.
That's me. if
No,
I'm a
but like
ghost, I'm
the
be
Bell
like,
Witch. Grandma's calling me.
I don't know
Let's
how
go.
much I believe like in
Holy.
actual witches being like an.
So do you believe in witches?
People do witchcraft, but
Those
I don't know
players
if I
gonna
believe in
die.
like paranormal, like, oh, this is like a supernatural being, like they possess some kind of power that I don't know
Kind
about.
of like.
Like I don't know if I think that that's a thing.
I don't know. Whenever I think of witches, I don't actually think of the Salem witch trials. I think of what the media has put out there of like pointy hats and
Halloween.
flying brooms and all that kind of stuff and Halloween.
Black clothing and curly shoes.
I love Halloween though, so I'm a
shoes.
fan of
The
of
shoes
witches
that like
of
at
Halloween.
the tip they curl in.
But I think that's why people also don't like Halloween because they're like, oh, the witches, it's the devil's holiday.
Yeah, it's literally called the Devil's Holiday
But
or the Devil's Night.
Well, obviously, like, I am not a fan of the devil. I love you, Jesus. Okay? But, like, obviously, witchcraft had to be a thing if it's in the Bible. But
But they
I don't think it was a thing. I think it was people thought that
or it
was
was
the
like,
thing.
don't try to make yourself have, like, these supernatural powers, maybe, in a sense. Like, quit trying to strive to get your power from someone else other from me,
Yeah. I think it was like
potentially.
I think it was like a more deep rooted thing than it was to be like taken literally. I think it was
Yeah.
more like, hey, don't be like the devil. That's witchcraft. So don't do things that the devil would do because that's witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of feel like they were
100%.
taking from it.
I do like Halloween though. Like I don't like obviously like the devil, but it's just Halloween's fun. Like Halloween's just like spooky and fun. Like the
Halloween
haunted
is so
places.
fun 'cause you
It's
get to
spooky and
dress up like
fun.
somebody else.
Yeah. I have a good time. Like I thrive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
And you can get a bunch of candy.
I like it. It's fun.
I just like it for the chocolate.
The chocolate.
No chocolate.
Did I say it weird?
Yeah.
How did I say
You
it?
did.
Chocolate?
You
Grandma
said
asked what I was
chocolate.
doing, and I said nothing because I didn't want to have to explain a whole
What
thing
I
about
don't
a
understand
podcast.
is like how good they can take stuff. Like the Blair Witch Project's that movie.
I've never
Mhm.
seen
They
that.
made it. They
I've never
made
seen
it.
it
The
either.
whole entire thing. They made it seem like they were actually like missing people. They like put up missing posters and
Oh, yeah, that's right,
ads and
that's right.
stuff like that.
Wow.
So
I
when
wanna-
they
I
watched the
wanted
movie,
this now.
they actually thought this movie was actually somebody recording this woman's death.
Anyways, so Zach, what's your take on a unicorn?
Oh, a unicorn?
Yeah.
They're fake.
You're
What?
fake.
You're
What about a
fake.
Pegasus?
A pig, a horse with wings. Yeah, that's called a pigeon.
A pigeon.
Yeah.
I would love if a Pegasus was a real thing because, like,
They're so
would cry.
pretty.
Oh, okay, you know
that
who
would
you
cause
sound
for a
like?
lot of
You sound like
accidents.
them.
Someone would fall out of the air and be like, "Sorry, I fell off my Pegasus."
Sorry, I fell off my Pegasus.
Sorry, I'm falling.
What
and I
movie is
can't
there a
get up.
Pegasus in?
The Barbie movie.
That's
Barbie.
not-
My Little Pony.
No,
no.
Hercules, right?
Oh,
It's in
Hercules.
Clash of Titans.
It was
Hercules.
in the.
That's like
Endgame.
a Greek thing, right? A Pegasus.
Yeah.
Oh
I just
yeah,
make
yeah,
that up.
yeah. The Valkyries in Marvel movies, they
Yeah.
ride Pegasus.
Ooh.
They
Pegasi.
drive- They drive
Pegasi?
Pegasus.
Is it
Plural of
Pegasus?
Pegasi.
Pegasi?
Mini Pegasus.
How do you
Pegasus
say
is-
multiple platypus?
Platypi.
Platypi?
That's like cacti.
But
For
whenever,
cactus.
but apparently the correct thing for octopus is octopuses. It's what it is. The correct way to say it is octopuses, not octopi.
I don't want to have this conversation. right
Octopi
now.
is one octopi. Octopus, octopi.
I don't even want to go
Octopuses.
there. I really don't.
We're already there.
I'm just saying that's the correct way to say it.
I want you to.
What do you think about krakens? Go.
Krakens? Like,
Krakens.
A kraken.
It's like a
Like
jump.
what's crack-a-lackin'?
No,
No,
the
it's a-
kraken.
I was
It's like
thinking
a
of
big
just like
octopus.
doing crack. You know?
So,
No.
do you not remember in Pirates of the
Start doing
Caribbean, the giant,
Thought you were already doing
the
Man.
giant,
I am.
They having their own
Transylvania
conversation.
3, they go on the ship.
Okay, tell us about the Kraken.
You don't know what the Kraken is? It's like a big octopus that like drags ships down
Yeah.
with
I
those
don't eat
tentacles.
seafood.
That's a terrible name.
Him and Moby Dick had a giant battle, and then
Is it Moby Dick a whale?
Yeah. Did you not know that whales eat squid?
I haven't said anything
I don't
stupid today.
do a lot of research on what whales eat.
Isn't
I don't
Moby
know
Dick
about
a
whale
whale?
diet. Thank you.
Well,
I just asked to make sure. I have to read Moby Dick this year from one of my English classes.
Really? I've never read it. Don't know a
Me
lot
either.
about
I
Moby
don't
Dick.
have to read it, and I know everything about
I've
it.
heard it's long.
I don't know anything about Moby Dick, but I don't really care about
Moby Dick makes
I don't
me
really
think
know
of
anything
Pinocchio.
about. I don't really know anything about Moby Dick,
That's
but I
a
don't
lie.
really care.
I care about the sea, but I don't eat seafood, so I don't know about the sea
Yeah.
creatures.
That means you care about the sea the most, because you won't eat their creatures.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
'Cause
what
I'm
you
actually
know how
really
this
like
straw
shrimp.
stuff is changing around. We need no plastic straws. It's fixing to be paper
I
straws.
love straws. They're
Jesus.
so gross.
Jesus Chrysler.
Dude, paper straws, they literally taste like you're eating, like
You're
drinking out of
killing
paper.
sea turtles everywhere.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Have y'all
It's
seen
gonna
that
be
commercial for
in
Liquid
the
Death?
end, it's not going to be plastic
you have.
straws wrapped
Mhm.
in paper. It's going to be paper straws wrapped in plastic.
You know the Liquid Death commercial.
Oh yeah.
We
No.
gotta keep the sea safe, guys.
I'm actually. You know what? I'm gonna buy some Liquid Death so we can have it on next week's podcast.
Do it.
And I'll act drunk because I'm really good at acting.
Oh my gosh.
It's water.
You look like
Well,
a
I know
lumberjack
what
right
it's-
now.
Huh?
You look like a lumberjack.
No, I look like the spokesperson for the paper towel rolls. You know, Brawny.
Oh yeah.
But
Hey,
All I
Bobby.
thought of was OxyClean.
do y'all think that like
Dude.
mythical creatures are real? Because I mean, I feel like that's kind
like
of
a sea monster?
Yeah, when you smoke a little bit
Loch
of
Ness
crack.
Yeah,
Monster.
Loch Ness or.
Do y'all think that's real?
No, it's a
I think-
mythical creature.
I
Yeah,
think.
Mythical.
Okay, look.
Mythical.
Here's my
Some
take
people
on it.
believe it.
Because I've watched multiple
kick you.
documentaries about this kind of stuff.
Bigfoot.
I think it was real. All right.
Okay.
I think that I don't believe they actually caught it. I believe what it was a
It's a
piece of
dinosaur.
driftwood in the lake, and that's what they got from it. But I do believe that the Loch Ness monster, the reason why they got its shape and where it came from, is because back in dinosaur period, they actually had Elymosaurus.
It was a big dinosaur.
Elymosaur-
It was like an
Anyways,
elephant.
it was a
Not an
giant
elephant,
water lizard thing. It had a long neck like a
Giraffe.
Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus?
That's
Brachiosaurus.
called Brachiosaurus.
And then it had fins like
Freaking
Mosasaurus.
Nechiosaurus.
It was like one of them big old elephants mixed with a giraffe
So,
mixed with a
I have a
crocodile.
question.
What?
Do you think dinosaurs were real?
Yes.
Yeah, they have bones.
I just wanted. I told.
to prove it.
I told Zach. I said I'm gonna ask Brennan if he thought dinosaurs were real.
Okay, but do you know this? Do you know that almost every single dinosaur bone that you see in a museum, or like every single like fully completed skull, like recreation, is not actually their bones?
Okay, then they're not real.
Well, of course.
Don't you have to like
Why would they
preserve
want
their
to use
bones?
real bones?
Yeah,
Inside of a-
exactly. Like, why would you put their real bones out there?
Because it's like that's
So what
like
do they do? Make a replica?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
That
That's
makes
exactly what they
sense,
do.
Actually, because wouldn't you have to like preserve their bones and stuff?
Not only that, it's a lot of money for the bones. You know how many
Pterodactyl.
people?
That's true, especially if it's where people can touch stuff. You could put it like in a glass case.
You know.
you could
A lot
have
of people
this
couldn't touch
Somebody would try to
very
attack you with a
genuine,
hammer
very
like they did with
awesome
the Liberty
like
Bell.
Nigel-
pterodactyl egg replica.
Do you think
Awesome.
mermaids are real?
Yes.
Of course
I
you
love
do.
mermaids. I don't think
Ooh,
they're
one of
real,
my
but I
favorite
love
movies-
mermaids.
One of my favorite movies about mermaids was The 13th Year. I literally watched
What's
that
that?
all the
Disney
time.
movie.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Disney
isn't
movie.
it that one where?
With the dude?
Yeah,
dude.
and whenever he turns a certain age, he has to go
Yeah,
back
the 13th year. So when he turns 13,
He gets his fins and stuff, and he finds out. He starts getting scaly, and he's like, "What the heck?"
Okay, I'm
And
just gonna
really
say
liking
this right
water.
now. That kid that played that guy in the movie did not look 13 whatsoever.
no,
He looks a
he
little
didn't.
older.
He
I'm
looked.
sure he was.
He looked 18.
I'm sure he was.
I'm sure he was. They always do. They always hire older actors to play younger. Like I am 19, but if I was an actress, I could play like a 12 or 13-year-old.
You
They would
sure
hire me
could,
for that.
though.
Yeah,
Shut
with
up.
how short you are, you definitely could.
I could play
Never
somebody
mind.
younger too, because I don't look like an adult. Like,
Well,
look at me. Look at me right now.
You
If
look
I look
like
like a 22-year-old,
Yeah,
no,
You
you
look
got
like
space
an
buttons
18.
on your head.
You
You're like, oh,
you
she
look
looks
like
like
a
an
17-year-old
18-year-old.
going in the middle of puberty.
I look ugly.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Shut up.
I look 18.
I am
Are
obsessed
you
with like
18
stuff
yet?
like
I
that.
am.
Okay.
So, what kind of mythical creatures do you think are real?
A mermaid.
None.
None of them. They're mythical.
Oh.
Myth.
I said that and then you yelled at me.
I was like, I know they're not real, but do you think they ever were real?
I said
Like
a mermaid.
Bigfoot?
Yes.
I don't think Bigfoot's real.
Yeah. No, they
Actually,
Has
Bigfoot is
anyone
real,
ever
I'm right here.
Seen Bigfoot? That's true.
That's
No,
just like-
so
13 to you.
Bigfoot was a real thing. It was a giant ape that lived in North America
Okay.
back in the Ice Age,
the
or right
Yeti-
before the Ice Age, and it was bipedal, walked on two feet, and had very long arms.
Is the
I
Yeti
taught
and
myself
Bigfoot
how
the
to
same
hold my
thing?
sneeze in without holding my nose.
Oh, this is a good question. So I feel like
What'd you
they're the
ask?
same thing,
Is
or
the Yeti
the
and
same
Bigfoot the same
species,
thing?
but different.
I don't think it's.
A Yeti and a Bigfoot. Bigfoot
Mm-hmm.
is like the redneck version of a Yeti.
Wait,
Okay.
is a Yeti a real thing?
A Yeti.
I
No.
don't think so.
Yeti.
I
Do
don't
you know what
why
an
I thought
abominable snowman is?
That's the Yeti.
Yeah.
This is
it's
the
same-
monster.
It's from
The
Monsters
monster.
Inc. when they got
We are.
banished,
You
like
are taking
Bigfoot.
that out.
It's the monster.
It is the monster. Because they have a ride.
the monsters.
Because is the Yeti because we rode the ride at Disney, what is it?
Expedition Everest.
So was the Yeti, was that a thing like near Mount Everest? Is that why
Yeah.
the Yeti, that ride? I
Yeah.
don't know anything about
I'm
the
so
Yeti.
proud of you. That
But,
was
like,
a good comparison.
Truly, like, is that
I've
why?
never been to Disneyland
I never thought
or
about
Disney
that.
World.
So
Oh
it is
my goodness,
like
hold
the
on.
abominable snowman, and then
Just the
Bigfoot's
abominable
like
snow-
One
Snowman.
second.
out in
I'm
the-
not letting
the
it go.
woods.
I'm not letting it go. Josie, you have been going to Disney World for
Since I was 8.
since you were 8 years old, and you just now put together that Expedition Everest and the Yeti had to go with Mount Everest.
No. That's not what I was saying. I knew that was Mount Everest. I didn't know that they put the Yeti and Mount Everest together because she was like, could that be together because that's...
There's literally
I didn't know that.
memorabilia and all this like stuff that they put inside of the ride whenever you're walking
Oh, yeah,
to
that's
it.
true.
That is literally all based around a Yeti and Mount Everest being together.
Okay, I
I've
just had
always
never
wanted
heard
to
about the
go to
Yeti
Mount
until we were
Everest.
there. So I was like, was this like a real thing that people like thought was happening at Mount Everest, or were they just like, oh, that would be cool to?
So did you
Make it
know?
like
Did
this
you know in
here.
Monsters Inc. that the Abominable Snowman was a Yeti?
Well,
in
they
Monsters
were both
Inc. there was an
banished.
abominable
You know,
snowman.
Yes, I
Yeah.
actually remember that.
when the
I haven't watched this in a long
when the
time.
CEO of Monsters Inc. was talking, he said, "Yeah, if you keep talking like this, you're gonna end up like Bigfoot and the Abominable Snowman,
Yeah.
banished."
I'm gonna
So-
have to go back and watch that.
So by
I like
Monsters Inc.
monsters.
standards, they're different creatures.
Well, they're cousins
Yes.
if you think about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
saying they're
they're
the
different.
same thing but different
One
species.
lives in the woods and one lives near Mount Everest.
What do y'all think about dragons? Do you think dragons actually existed?
no.
No,
Then why are they always? I wholeheartedly believe they
Think
actually
they breathe
exist.
fire?
I don't think they breathe fire, but I believe that there are some big lizards.
yeah, called
That could probably
Those are
glide.
called lizards.
pterodactyl.
Okay, you look at a crocodile.
Where did
you
dragons
tell 'em-
originate from? Was that like a China
England?
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, China. Yeah, you're
Because
right.
they have a lot of like
yeah,
dragon
they're like little thingies.
stuff in their decor
little
and
thingies.
stuff.
Yeah, like no, like the people are under it, and it, you know what I'm talking about?
The
The paper
parade.
mache
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
what it's called.
That's like a big thing in their culture. So I just felt like maybe dragons came
China.
from there. I'll have to look into that because I don't know.
Josie's my sister.
Josie's my sister.
we love inside jokes.
No, like a TV show.
No, like a podcast.
Ah!
I didn't look at the camera. Was I supposed to?
No.
No, it wasn't.
But yeah,
hers.
I'm like think everything's fascinating. It takes a lot to convince me that things exist, though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, no, I don't believe.
Hey,
in
Haley, was
anything.
the Holocaust real?
Yes.
Well, yeah, there's like
That didn't take hard.
All
for
right,
you to
fine. All
convince
right,
you.
quick
I'm
lightning
talking about
round.
the mythical stuff.
What's something really interesting that you like to talk about?
I don't know.
You say it. You gotta come up with it
First
now.
thing that comes to your head, go.
Pearl Harbor.
All right, Josie, go.
I feel so much pressure. College life.
Harry Styles
You got somebody to come.
and Ariana Grande.
It's Britney.
The Crusades.
I don't even know what that is.
You know what?
That would happened to me at Airsoft
We should
yesterday.
talk
Did I
about
tell you about
space
that?
one
No,
day.
what happened?
This kid.
Yes, I love.
I had
Oh,
a-
that really hurt. My
I
arm
had a
was
pair
here
of
and you
goggles.
said.
I bought a new pair of goggles for
Break your
Airsoft.
wrist.
and this kid came up to me. Hey, you got an extra pair of goggles?
You like pulled my
can-
arm and
I
my
can
shoulder
have or
popped back
something.
in.
Sorry.
I was
You're
like, no, I
welcome.
don't. He's like, man, I wish you did because I was going to trade you a Crusader helmet for him.
Can we please talk about outer space?
We should
love
talk about space one day, and I'll wear my hair like this.
Space buns.
I know. I was
No,
like, I should have saved
love
this.
outer. Like that's one
Let's
thing in
talk about
science
Star
that I
Wars,
could.
okay?
No.
Princess
I'm
Leia.
down. Star Wars. Let's
No.
go.
Princess
We can talk about
Leia.
Star
Can we
Wars.
talk about Friends,
That's below.
the TV show?
You don't have any.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the College Fun Podcast. Tell us what you want to hear about next week, and we're going to say bye.
Bye.
See
you later. 11 and 6 expense.